I got one thing for you guys. Don't trust this guy with your chickens.
No, I ain't calling you chicken fucker, but that boy over there looks sexually frustrated, and I don't approve of chicken fuck.
You hear what he called me, boss? I ain't
My
no
mistake,
fucking
my
The Devil's Rejects is the second film in Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy. It is a more gritty, arguably more brutal, savage film than even House of a Thousand Corpses was, and that movie was violent. The Devil's Rejects pretty much takes place right after House of a Thousand Corpses. The police have now surrounded the Firefly home, which looked to be a different home than the first movie. It might not be, but just from looking at it, maybe it was the camera or maybe it was the editing, or I don't know, but it looked different than the original home. And yeah, they surround the home, and there's a massive shootout between the Firefly family and the police. A major scuffle, some serious bodies hit the floor, and only 2 of the Fireflies make it out. Of course, we have Baby, played by Sherri Moon Zombie, and Otis Driftwood, played by Bill Moseley. Fan favorite, disgusting character, deplorable character, does some really messed up things in this movie. He did some terrible things in the first movie, but he does some worse things in this movie. But he really brings it. And I gotta say, Sherri Moon Zombie as Baby in this film is a lot better than the first one. I really actually enjoyed her character. I enjoyed her more than I did in House of a Thousand Corpses. That laugh was kind of gone. She wasn't as annoying in my opinion. And yeah, I thought she did a pretty good job. So as they escape the house, we very soon realize that Captain Spaulding, played by the great late Sid Haig, is actually Baby's father. And he tells them to get to a motel. And that first scene when we see him, he thinks he's having, a little fun time with this this blonde woman, but it's just a dream. And he's with a woman that that he doesn't really want to be with, and he's leaving. She's like, baby or poopy or whatever she's calling him, and he's like, stop it, and he shoves her face out of the way and he gets the hell out of there.
Poopy, don't go.
Damn it, stop calling me poopy. Leave me alone, woman.
Not my poopy.
Leave me alone.
Poopy, no.
So yeah, Otis and Baby get to this motel, and there's this group of musicians that are traveling around the state of Texas, and they've stopped here as well. And yeah, the motel scene is pretty messed up. They ambush one of the older gentlemen. They ambush him. Baby seduces him, and then Otis comes up with a gun behind his head and makes them go into their room. And this is where we get the really bad scene from Otis. He really violates a woman in there. Kind of ruins the character, you know what I mean? A little. I mean, and the thing is about this movie is there's so many jokes being told between the Fireflies. Some of them work, but after what Otis does, it's gruesome. It's really tough. But they torture these people. They maim them. They mess them up really bad. And Otis takes the 2 guys out looking for some guns, as he says that he had buried a long time ago. There's a scuffle out in the desert, but Otis, of course, being he's like a ninja, dude. He can fight. He is tough. I mean, 2 guys on him and he still beats them. He kills both of them, beats one's head in with a log, and yeah, stabs the other one.
Well, first of all, I didn't say anything. And second of all, I'm calling the shots! Consider me fucking Willy fucking Wonka! This is my fucking chocolate factory!
And when he gets back to the motel, one girl sort of escapes, but she just brought back in after Captain Spaulding catches her because he's made his way to the motel at this point. And, Captain Spaulding has another hilarious scene where he's trying to get to the motel because his car breaks down. And he's with a mom and a little kid, and he's like, I'm gonna need your vehicle. Official clown business and all. And he totally jacks their car, scares that living piss out of the kid. And yeah, just takes it and runs off with it. And he meets him there, and the girl that they just kidnapped eventually runs out with her husband's face on her. Oh, really messed up. And yeah, get hit by a truck. Of course, just gets hit by a truck. And while all this is going on, there's Sheriff Wydell, who is on a vengeful, very vengeful path to find the Fireflies, because we learned that it's his brother, his father. Let me know in the comments. That was the sheriff in the first movie that got murked by Mama Firefly. And the actress in this movie is actually a different actress than the original. Mother Firefly being Leslie Easterbrook in this movie. And yeah, he's just really dedicated to finding these serial killers, and it makes sense. He's a sheriff. It's something he should want to do, should have to do. But you know, it's a little different since he has family that was harmed by them. And you know, as both parties are going on, we're seeing both sides. You know, the cops and the Fireflies, and yeah, he eventually just stabs the living shit out of Mother Firefly, killing her. So eventually we learn that Sheriff Wydell has these two like hitman assassins that work kind of like behind the scenes with the police. And we have Danny Trejo, who is, yeah, he's Danny Trejo. He's a boss, you know, he's amazing. And his buddy, his friend, character wasn't really that memorable, and I'm totally blanking on his name right now. But they're like these two, you know, like they're bad guys, they're criminals, but they work undercover with the police. And they're, you know, the Sheriff Wydell's like, I need the Fireflies, get them to me, but get them alive, because he wants to do some torture to them. So eventually, Captain Spaulding, Otis, and Baby are making their way down the road. You know, Captain Spaulding has a friend who's a pimp. We'd seen earlier in the movie, he runs this sort of it's a prostitution house, played by Ken Foree. His name in the movie is Charlie. And yeah, you can tell him and Captain Spaulding have some history. You know, they're buddies. They're criminals, but they're friends. Yeah, they're driving down the road, and Captain Spaulding and Baby, they want some ice cream, right? Of course. You just killed some people. They've done their work for the day. Now they want some ice cream, and they keep saying, Otis, tutti fucking fruity, tutti fucking fruity, tutti fucking fruity. And this is getting Otis pissed off. And then there's a pretty good cut. It was pretty comedic where he's like, no, we're not getting it. And then they get it, they're eating ice cream. This all leads them going to the prostitution house. And yeah, Captain Spaulding's doing some blow with his buddy Charlie, while Otis is getting a little freaky with one of the girls, and Baby's having a good time with one of the girls as well. They're talking, and they're probably relating on some things. This just leads to Danny Trejo and company coming in and just cleaning house, getting the Fireflies, and bringing them back to the original house, the original Firefly house. And then we get Sheriff Wydell coming in, torturing the living crap out of the three. And, you know, I think Rob Zombie kind of wanted us to feel bad maybe for them, but the thing is, Otis, Baby, and Count Spaulding, they're terrible people. I mean, I didn't feel bad for them. You know, they kind of had it coming. I mean, Sheriff Wydell is on a very vengeful path and all, but he does mess them up pretty badly, nearly killing all of them, almost kills all of them, but at the nick of time, Tiny shows up and kills Sheriff Wydell, saving Captain Spaulding and Otis as well from the burning house. And Tiny then, I think he goes into the house and dies, but he does die. And yeah, he had his heroic moment there, saving them. This leads them to going back down the road, driving their car to the famous song and iconic from this movie, Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird. And we get an all-out assault of police just mowing the three down as they're on their road blockade. And yeah, the three of them just totally get shot and shredded into pieces, and you would think they're dead, right? But there's a third movie, of course. My opinions. I didn't enjoy this one as House of a Thousand Corpses. I didn't think the story was as strong, even though the acting was better. I will admit that. I think Rob Zombie stepped up in some regards with his directing. You know, it didn't feel as cartoonish or like music video-ish like. But that's kind of what I liked about the first movie. And yeah, it didn't really stick with me. And you know, some of the things they did, it's hard for me to like really enjoy the characters after that. You know, I mean, I can give a lot of leeway and a lot of, you know, consideration to horror movie villains, but what Otis does, you know, and it's messed up. And so it was kind of hard for me to really enjoy following them, even though I did, you know, I stuck through the whole thing, and this is my first watch. This is my first time seeing it, but I just didn't enjoy this one as much. It just didn't stick as hard. I would rate this movie a 5 out of 10. Yep. Just a little bit less than the original. Not terrible, but not that passing score, you know, 6 and above that we're kind of looking for. I haven't seen the third one yet. I'm excited to. We're going to review it next. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching my videos. I'm excited to keep posting, keep doing these movie reviews and more horror content. If you guys like these videos, please consider subscribing and maybe liking. And yeah, I can't wait for more. Thanks, guys.